Hi yogis, my name is Ashley Patrice and I will be guiding you through an all levels yoga class. This class is brought to you by the Human Trafficking Coalition of the Palm Beaches. So find your yoga mat or somewhere comfortable around the house. We're actually going to start off on our backs today. So if you want to get anything to help you, like any yoga blocks or any blankets, if you're not on your yoga mat, you just want to make sure you're protecting your knees. So if you want like a towel or a blanket under there, just find it and I'll meet you on your mat. So we're going to start off on our backs today. Reclined with the soles of the feet together. Bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. Just begin to settle in and notice the breath here. If this is too much for your legs, you can open up that space where the diamond is. This is for the outer hips. Or you can even place a block or a pillow underneath the thigh or the knee, just wherever you need that space if you're feeling tight there. So meeting you here with the soles of the feet together and the hands on the belly and the chest. We're going to bring our awareness to the breath. So filling up the body, nice and slow, inhaling through the nose. Filling up the breath all the way to the hands on the heart. And exhaling out of the mouth. Pressing the air out all the way to the belly button. And then filling up all the way through the nose. And exhaling out of the mouth. Just doing a couple rounds of that. And every time you're exhaling, just releasing the pressure from the shoulders or the face. Fully surrendering to this pose. Scanning the body, noticing where you're holding on and where you need to let go. Taking another deep breath in through the nose and holding it at the top. And exhaling out of the mouth. Beautiful, and coming back to the victorious breath now. That's an Ujjayi breath in through the nose and out through the nose, constricting the throat, making an ocean-like sound. Just having control of the breath as it moves through your body slightly. But making sure you're releasing anything else that you're holding on as you hold the breath in and out. Feeling it brush against the back of the throat as you breathe. And staying in that position. Just giving your mind something to do as you are breathing. So a big thing that's been coming up in my life, especially with being quarantined in the house right now, is noticing resistance. The study of yoga is not just about flexibility. It's about the study of the self and how you present yourself for the world. So a lot of us can be an automatic and not notice that we are being a certain way or that we're stuck in our ways. So yoga is a way to bring those things forward so we can realize where we can get better in our lives and grow. So resistance is what's coming up for me. Resistance to being stuck in the house, noticing people's resistance to things. But resistance doesn't have to be such a scary thing. Resistance should be our teacher. So when we notice, that's the first step, is noticing that we're resistant. And when we notice that we're resistant, it's leaning into it rather than running from it. Noticing that we're being resistant and asking ourselves why, and then breaking it down more and more. You know, what is this teaching me? What do I need to bend in my mind for me to be more in sync? So for me, my best friend would always say, you say no to everything. And I didn't realize I was like that, but I just thought like, I'm strong, independent woman and I got this all the time. So do you need help? Nope, I got it. Do you need this? Nope. But that wasn't me being strong, because I'm not being vulnerable and speaking my truth of, you know, how I am in that moment. I wasn't even being aware that I was saying no all the time. I just am so programmed to say no that I was closing off to blessings that I could be receiving. So it made me notice when I was saying no, like, well, I didn't really want to say no. I did want to try that dessert or whatever it may be. But, you know, it's something so small of that. You know, it's just sitting back and watching yourself. So for this next hour or so, I invite you to sit back and notice your thoughts, but without having any emotion or connection to them, just noticing them as they come and as they go and letting them go. And that's the first step, is to notice. And then once you start noticing and you're seeing a trend in always saying no, or seeing what you're resistant to, you're going to start to want to change that within yourself, because we don't want resistance in our body. We want to feel freedom and relaxed. So taking a deep breath into freedom and flow, and exhaling everything out of the mouth that's resistance and no. One more time, inhale. And exhale out of the mouth. Beautiful. So we're going to stretch our feet long out in front of us. Bring your hands up over the head, stretching long through the fingertips and through the toes, as if we're just waking up the body for the first time today. Maybe we are. Maybe we're just waking up the mind to new things. So stretching long, taking a deep breath in, and exhale, bringing the hands over to the right and the feet over towards the right, creating a crescent moon with the body. Both the shoulder blades are flat onto the ground, and you can even get your left foot and cross it over your right, creating more of a bend in the body. Bringing your attention to the left side body and breathing deeply into the left ribs. Staying connected with the Ujjayi breath as you move. And yoga gives you an opportunity to be more creative. So bring your attention to your lungs as they expand and release. Inhaling, coming back to center, stretching long, shooting energy from the fingertips to the toes. And exhale, bringing the hands and the feet over towards the left side. Staying flat and grounded on the back and the sit bones. And maybe crossing that right foot over the left, creating a banana with the body. And breathing into that right side body. Creating space, imagining growth, lengthening through the body as you breathe. Beautiful, and coming back to center, taking a deep breath in, and exhale, bringing the knees into the chest and giving yourself a nice hug. Bring your attention to your spine here, working towards pressing the tailbone down and the back of the head down. So nice straight spine, being gentle with yourself at the same time. Slightly constricting the belly and just breathing here, noticing the belly as it lifts and lowers on the thighs. This is one removing pose, so this is a really good pose for detoxification, cleansing, good for the internal organs, because it's like giving them a massage, because it's creating a compression and then it releases, so everything is just becoming more in flow. We're going to grab onto both the knees and do nice circular motions with the knees, feeling the lower back hit different points as you massage the lower back, like so. Moving the knees in the opposite direction. Staying connected to the breath. Maybe let that be our main focus, is just making sure that we're breathing and noticing the body parts that are needing attention as we move. So the lower back right now. Beautiful. We're going to bring that right knee into the chest, stretching through that left heel as we release it onto the mat. Just taking a couple breaths here as we pull that right knee just outside the body. Staying flat with our shoulder blades onto the mat. Really stretching through that left heel. And grab onto that right knee with the right hand, doing nice circular motions, opening up that hip here. Noticing if you're feeling tight in that hip, just noticing so that we can feel the difference later. Moving in the opposite direction if you want to move freely and do anything that feels good to you in this moment, maybe grabbing onto the toes or to the big toe, or pulling that foot down for half happy baby, whatever feels good to you. For this next hour, I invite you to move freely and notice what your body wants you to do, and honoring that little voice that's like, hey, I feel a little tight here, let's move and do this. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose And exhale that right knee over towards the left side, stretching that right hand out and bringing the gaze to follow towards that right hand. Breathing into that right hip. Maybe it's feeling a little tight right now, and that's okay. We're going to release that. And then you can kick that right leg straight as you're twisted and bringing that knee up to the chest. Just creating space, imagining having full rotation in that right hip. And coming back onto the back and stretching that right heel forward. Both feet are straight. Exhale and bring that left knee into the chest. Holding that knee just outside the body, pressing through that right heel. Both the shoulder blades are flat onto the ground. Just feeling the belly lift and lower against that left thigh. Creating a compression here on the large intestines. And then grabbing that left knee in nice circular motions, trying to move it in every direction, removing any lactic acid or stiffness in the body. Breathing there to release it as we move. Moving in all the directions. Bringing that left knee over towards the right side for a nice twist, stretching that left hand out with the gaze to follow. Taking a couple breaths here, allowing your body to settle in. And then starting with the movement, pressing through those left toes, stretching nice and long and bringing that knee back up to the chest. Beautiful, and then coming back to center, moving that knee out everywhere and then stretching it long out in front of you. We're gonna inhale, lift up onto the forearms, making sure that the elbow is underneath the shoulder. Stretching long, pressing through the chest as you bring the gaze up towards the ceiling. Breathing into the heart center to start. Next, inhale, reach up with the toes, really pointing through the toes here. Feeling the lower belly constrict. We're slightly engaging the belly button to the spine, pressing up with the chest towards the ceiling. We're gonna exhale, press through the heels, lower the heels down towards the mat, but not on it. Inhale, press through the toes and lift the toes up. And exhale, lower, pressing through the heels. And inhale, lift. Doing 8 more of these, pressing through the heels and lifting through the toes. Breathing and exhaling as we move. Inhaling and exhaling, may I say. So a lot of our emotions are stuck in our hips and our belly. So when we are able to move like this, even though we feel that fiery feeling in our lower belly, it's good because it's energy that needs to be released and moved. We feel that heat burning, releasing any negative ions in the body. Letting go of those old habits that were resistant to you and creating new space for more. 4 more. 2, 1 more, make it count. And exhale, lowering the soles of the feet down to the mat. Bring your shoulder blades down to the mat. We're gonna press into the feet and inhale, lifting the hips up. Just watching the belly lift and lower here. Really pressing into the heels and lifting up the hips. And releasing the sit bones down. And then rocking your knees side to side. Windshield wipering, just feeling the lower belly release here. Beautiful, we're gonna cross the feet and hold onto the knees and give ourselves a little back massage by rolling back and forth onto the spine. This is really good for the posture, so is bringing the knees to the chest. It's really good for just aligning the spine. So we're gonna rock forward onto tabletop, so hands and knees. The fingers are nice and spread under the shoulders. The knees are open about hip width apart. So we're gonna drop the belly, lift the gaze, inhale, and exhale, cat pose. Pressing into the hands, really feeling a nice stretch between the shoulders and bringing the belly button towards the spine. And just moving freely as you drop the belly and inhale. Going back and forth. Lubricating the spine, getting it ready for all the movement. Your spine is your warehouse for all of your nerves. So it's really good that you make sure you stretch it daily and give it the self-love and care that it deserves. Couple more of these. Last one, press into the palms, really stretching the back body out and coming to neutral. We're going to bring our gaze over to the left foot, feeling a nice stretch in the right side body. Inhale, looking forward, then over to the right foot. Just going back and forth, feeling a nice stretch in our lower ribs and on either side body as we stretch. And coming back to neutral, sending that right foot behind you, pressing through the heel, making sure we're nice and grounded in these three limbs, and the belly is slightly engaged to create a nice foundation. We're going to bend that knee and open up the hip, noticing the feeling of the hip and what movements and space we've created from when we first started. Before we are on our backs, holding our knees. Beautiful, then stretch that right foot behind you. Inhale, stretching that left hand out. Inhale, lifting everything, and exhale, crunch. Two more. And holding that exhale as you crunch for the last one. Inhale, reaching forward with the hand and the foot, and then reaching back for that foot. If you don't reach it, and that's okay, we're just working towards it. So just bending that leg and feeling that flexibility. If not, we're catching the top of the foot into the hand and pressing that foot into the hand. Making sure we're nice and grounded through that one knee and hand, finding our balance and breathing. Once you feel comfortable here, you can turn your gaze over towards the left and releasing that left hand down, rolling onto the left side, kickstanding that left foot over to the edge of the mat for a variation of side plank. Inhale, right hand comes up with the palm facing down, stretching long over the head. Noticing the shoulders, that they're stacked on top of one another. Long line of energy from the fingertips to the edge of that right foot. And drop that right hand down, nice circular motions here in our right shoulder griddle. And moving in the opposite direction. Beautiful, and coming back to neutral tabletop position. Making sure the knees are open, hip width apart. We're going to walk our hands out in front of us, bringing our forehead down to the mat, pressing into the palms and lifting the hips up towards the sky. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Filling up the body with breath. Inhale. Exhale out of the mouth, maybe letting the tongue out. Ah. Beautiful. Walking the hands back under the shoulders for tabletop position. This time we're going to stretch that left heel back, pressing through the heel, and then bend the knee, nice circular motions in that left hip. Staying nice and strong in the arms, slightly engaging the belly. Moving in the opposite direction. And then coming back to center, stretching that left heel out. Inhale, right hand forward. Exhale, elbow and knee meet. Inhale, lift. And exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale, holding that exhale while the knee and the elbow meet. Setting that right hand down and rolling onto the right side for a variation of side plank. Kickstanding that right foot over the edge. Left hand comes up and over the head with the palm facing down. Working on stacking those shoulders, bringing the gaze up towards the ceiling. One more breath. And exhale, nice circular motions in that left shoulder. Maybe the gaze follows as you move. Moving in the opposite direction. And rolling back to center, setting that left heel back. Inhale, right hand forward, and bringing that right hand to meet the top of the left foot. Meeting yourself wherever you are, whatever you did on the other side, and pressing that foot into the hand. Maybe the gaze follows. 2 more breaths here. Beautiful, and releasing that knee and hands down. We're gonna do 1 more cat-cow. Inhale, lift, and exhale, crow. Neutral spine. Begin to untuck the toes and lift the knees about 1 inch off the ground. Feeling the heat in the belly and letting it go. And then bring your chest towards your thighs for super dog, pressing deeply into the palms, lifting the heels, and exhale, releasing the heels down. Pedaling the feet up, walking out your dog. So when you're in down dog, you are pressing deeply into the palms and the fingers as the hands are nice and spread. The elbow creases are facing forward, and you're gonna take a deep breath in. And exhale, roll those shoulders down the back, lifting up through the tailbone, and working on lifting those heels towards the ground, or lowering those heels towards the ground. Beautiful. We're gonna inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Noticing the hands are nice and spread, the arms are strong, the belly's engaged, and the heels are over the balls of the feet. Taking a deep breath in here. Exhale, moving back into downward facing dog by lifting the hips up. This should be your perfect down dog. Maybe feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg, and just letting that be as you breathe. Beautiful. We're gonna look forward. We're gonna take nice big steps. So bringing that right foot, nice circular motion over to in front of the left foot. So just taking as if we're stepping over something in the middle of our mat. This is a way to open up the hips as we walk forward towards the hands. At the front of the mat, you're gonna make your feet hip width apart, hands to the shins. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, forward fold, bringing your weight into the balls of the feet. We're gonna catch opposite elbows, micro bend in the knees, and rock side to side. Bring your chest towards your thighs to really release. Rocking the head, allowing the neck and shoulders to release here. Staying connected with the breath. Noticing how you feel today. How is your mood? What's on your mind? And just letting it go. All you have is this moment. And let's fill it with self-love and peace and being present. Inhale, lifting up halfway, pulling through the crown of the head, engaging the belly, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up 1 vertebrae at a time, kind of like a zombie or something. Slightly engaging the belly. Bring your attention to the spine as you lift up all the way, nice and slow. When you come up to standing, hands come up with the palms to touch, big toes to touch as well. And exhale, hands to heart center. Pressing your thumbs against your heart. Taking a deep breath in and filling up the body, holding it at the top, and exhaling at the mouth. 1 more of those. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to your Ujjayi breath. Just noticing the past couple movements. Were you able to bring your attention to your body and your breath and be compassionate, full of love, and not judgmental towards yourself? Noticing those resistant thoughts if they've appeared yet. And letting them go. Beautiful. Inhale, hands come up over the head with the palms to touch, and releasing everything except for the pointer finger, reaching up out of the midsection and rocking side to side, just with the fingertips and the upper body. If you don't feel stable with the feet, I invite you to open up the feet about hip width apart, just so you have more balance here. Exhaling as you twist down to either side. Bringing the biceps towards the ears, feeling space being created in the body as we do this movement. Inhale, reaching up nice and tall, bringing the gaze up towards the ceiling, and exhale, hands behind the back. We're gonna open up our feet up hip width apart, reaching up through the crown of the head as you pull the hands down behind your back. Breathing into that heart space. Saying to yourself, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. Hands come up over the head with the palms to touch. And exhale, forward fold as you drag those thumbs over the front body, making sure the spine is nice and straight. Hands come down to the mat or to the shin. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. We're going to bend into that right knee. Right hand comes down to a block or under heart center. And the left hand comes up for a nice twist, stacking the shoulders. We can bring that left hand behind the back, maybe twist a little bit more from the torso. Being gentle. And switching sides. Dropping that left hand down, straightening the right leg as you bend into the left, and that right hand comes up. Breathing deeply into that right leg, stacking the shoulders. The weight is in the balls of the feet. Or in the heels, I'm so sorry. It's relaxing doing this, so sometimes I just get out of my element. And bring both hands down to the block. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. I'm working on being present with you all. So inhale, lifting up all the way. And exhale, forward fold. One more of those, really feeling the stretch in the back of the legs. Inhale, lift, and exhale. And we're going to send our hands down to the mat, coming into plank pose. Drop the knees. Then we're going to drop the chest into the chin. And then slip forward, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Here you can leave your hips down onto the mat, or you can press into the palms and lifting up the thighs off the mat. Taking a breath here. Bring your gaze to that right foot. Inhale forward and exhale to the left foot. Inhale forward. We're going to roll over the balls of the feet, coming into your downward facing dog. Maybe noticing if you feel different than the last time, pedaling out the feet here. And then begin to walk your feet just one step forward, shortening up your stance. We're going to take a deep breath in and exhale, bringing that right hand to the left ankle and twisting over to the left. And switching sides, right hand down, left hand to the shin or to the ankle. Inhale and exhale, twist. Releasing the hand down, coming back to neutral down dog. We're going to inhale, look forward, and begin to walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. We're going to drop the hips and coming into chair pose. Both of the palms face one another, rolling the shoulders down the back, and the weight is in the heels, maybe lifting up the toes. Making sure that where knees aren't rocking in there, you can still kind of see your toes. Beautiful. Inhale, lift it up all the way. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to the shins, pulling through the crown of the head. And exhale, sending that left foot back, coming onto the left knee and untucking those left toes. Right knee is stacked over that right ankle. Inhale, hands come up. Over the head, palms to touch, biceps next to the ears. You're not letting yourself drop forward into that right hip. You're kind of pressing into that front heel and that left knee and pulling towards one another, feeling the strength in that low body. Bring the hands behind the head and slightly pressing the head into the hands as you gaze up towards the ceiling, feeling the heart open here. Bringing the hands onto the top of the knee and pressing the hands onto the thighs, you lift to the crown of the head. Beautiful. Releasing the hands down to surround that front foot. You can have your block here just under your shoulder. We're going to send the hips back for half split. Making sure the knee or the hips aren't rocking out to either side. Your right leg is nice and straight and your hips are squared to the mat. So we're gonna inhale, pull through the crown of the head, and exhale, begin to fold over that front leg. Slightly constricting the stomach, pulling through the crown of the head and reaching with the chest as you reach forward towards the toes. Making sure there's no curvature in the spine, bringing our head to the knee. We're trying to reach with the chest. 2 more breaths here, creating space in the legs. And begin to bend into that front knee. Stacking the knee over the ankle. Inhale, hands come up. Grabbing onto that left wrist and bring it over to the right side as you gaze over to the left maybe. Maybe you drop that right hand down, keeping the gaze up. Beautiful, hands come up. And exhale, lower the hands down to surround that front foot, lifting up that back knee. Staying nice and strong here in our foundation, making sure that if we release our hands for a second, we're still able to balance. So we're gonna inhale, lift up nice and slow all the way to crescent pose. So that back left knee is off the mat. You're pressing through that right ball of the foot so your heel is stacked over and your palms are facing one another as you drop the shoulders down the back, biceps behind the ears. Bring your hands to heart center, feeling nice and strong. Beautiful, and then opening up the arms for warrior 2, pivoting that back foot to be parallel to the back of the back, stacking the right knee over the ankle, arms are strong, shooting energy from the right fingertips and the left. We're gonna inhale, shift forward, and exhale, right hand overhead, palm facing down with the left hand behind the back, or maybe to the back of the leg, just being very gentle, leaning into that right leg. Right forearm to right thigh, left hand over the head, palm facing down. Nice circular motions with that left arm. Staying connected with the breath as you move. And moving in the opposite direction. Feeling free and open. Beautiful, and then coming back to warrior 2, arms to a T, gaze is over that right middle finger. We're gonna bring both feet to the front of the mat with the big toes to touch. Inhale, hands come up with the palms facing one another. And exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and exhaling out of the mouth. One more, inhale and exhale. Beautiful, inhale, hands come up over the head. Grabbing onto everything except for the pointer finger. If you gotta open up your feet here, just hip width apart to find your balance as you rock side to side. Noticing how much more open we're feeling from when we started. Inhale, reaching up through those pointer fingers. Exhale, bend the elbows, drop the chest back, small back bend as you goalpost the arms. And inhale, lift it up all the way, reaching through the fingertips. And exhale, forward fold. Hands to the shins, inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. The feet are open about hip width apart if you want to grab onto your shins, your ankles, or your big toes. Pointer finger and middle finger, grab onto the big toes if you have that bind. Micro bends in the knees. We're going to inhale, reach with the crown of the head as we hold onto the binds of the legs. And exhale, forward fold. The weight goes into the balls of the feet as you pull your chest in towards your thighs. Rolling the shoulders down the back. Feeling the back of the legs open as you're stretching and breathing. Noticing if you're being resistant and being gentle with yourself as you become into flow. Inhale, lifting up halfway, releasing the bind, pulling through the crown of the head, and exhale, forward fold. We're going to release that left foot, or that right foot back, coming onto the right knee, untucking those right toes. And inhale, lifting it up with the palms over the head. Reaching out nice and long. Bringing the hands to the back of the head, releasing the head into the hands as you slightly back bend, pressing into that left heel, making sure you feel the right knee and the left heel kind of pulling towards one another as you feel the lower body strength. And releasing the hands up and then down onto the top of the knee as you lift up through the crown of the head, straightening the spine. Not really dipping into that left hip, but making yourself nice and tall here. Beautiful, releasing your hands down to surround that left foot. We're gonna send the hips back as your left foot lifts up for half splits. So hands under the shoulders, making sure your hips aren't rocking to either side. You're nice and square with the mat. We're gonna inhale, pull through the crown of the head, and exhale, fold. Using your block here if you need it, finding the length, that's the most important thing. Just finding your edge and breathing there without creating that curvature in the spine where you're trying to bring your head to your knee. Couple more long, slow breaths here, staying connected with the body. Beautiful, and then bending into that front leg. We're gonna bring our hands to surround that front foot on top that right leg, coming into a high plank here, making sure our left knee is over the ankle and that back leg is nice and strong. We're gonna inhale, lift it up for crescent pose. Bringing the palms to touch over the head, rolling the shoulders down the back as the biceps are next to one another, slightly engaging the belly. And then opening up into warrior two, bringing the arms out to a T and pivoting that back foot to be parallel to match the back of the mat. Arms are nice and strong. And the gaze is over the middle finger. Feeling our strength as warriors. Inhale, shift forward with that left hand. And the left hand over the head, palm facing down, right hand behind the back as you bend a little deeper into that front left knee. Left forearm to the left thigh, right hand over the head, palm facing down. Reaching long all the way from the fingertips to the toes as we stack the shoulders. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. And then dropping that right hand down, nice circular motions here. Bringing the gaze to follow as we move. And then coming back to warrior two. We're gonna pivot both of our feet to face in towards the right. So our toes are in and our heels are out. Our hands are on our hips and we're reaching through the crown of the head. We're taking a deep breath in, hug those elbows in as you lift your chest, small back bend, and exhale, forward fold, engaging the belly, moving nice and straight, feeling it move from the back of the legs. Hands under heart center. If you need your block here, this is a nice spot to be. If you're feeling tight, just allowing yourself to be here with love and compassion, not being resistant to it, but rather breathing into it. Allowing your body to open, bringing the weight to the balls of the feet as you forward fold. You can stay here and breathe. Just listening to that intuition. What is it telling you to do? Not getting too comfortable, but finding a nice balance. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale out of the mouth. Inhale, lift it up halfway, hands onto the block of the mat. And exhale, we're gonna bring that right hand to the left shin or ankle. That right hand to the left shin. Inhale, left hand comes up. Nice twist here. Feeling the back of that left leg open up and that right inner thigh. Inhale, hands to the mat, lifting up halfway. And exhale, twisting to the right, left hand to the right ankle. Right hand comes up. Beautiful, and then coming back to center, hands lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift it up halfway. Bringing the hands to the hips, engaging the belly and lifting up all the way, nice and strong. Bringing both feet to the front of the mat, toes to touch. Inhale, hands come up. We're going to exhale, hands come back, chest to the thighs for a variation of chair. Inhale, lift it up all the way. And this time we're going to exhale in the mouth. 5 more of those. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keeping going. 3 more. Releasing anything that doesn't serve us. Taking new opportunities and exhaling resistance. 1 more. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, letting it all go. Leaving your chest towards your thighs. Bring your weight into the balls of the feet with the palms facing down. Pulling through the crown of the head. Feeling your strength here. Inhale, lift it up all the way. And exhale, hands to heart center. Pressing your thumbs against your heart, your big toes to touch. Feeling that heartbeat for you. If only we can live from this heart space and not from ego, but letting the ego be your teacher. Speaking through the soul and thinking through the soul. Beautiful, and with your eyes closed, noticing the weight in your feet. Pressing into the heel, the pinky toe, and the big toes. Staying nice and grounded in all 4 corners of the feet. We're going to bring our weight into our right foot. And we're going to open our eyes first. And bring your gaze to focus on one thing that's not moving. So, and it's got to be at eye level. Bringing our weight into the right foot. And lifting that left foot up. Bringing the knee towards the chest. Nice circular motions here with that left ankle. And then we're going to come into tree. So maybe the sole of the foot comes to the ankle. Maybe it comes to the calf. Never the knee, but above the knee if that's available to you too. Just finding your edge, keeping your drishti on the same spot. Reaching up nice and tall through the crown of the head as you press through the heel and ground down through those toes. And remember, if you fall out, it's okay. You're starting from a stronger place than when you started. So honoring that and loving yourself through the journey of finding balance, not only in yoga, but in life as well. 2 more breaths here, engaged in your belly, pulling through the crown of the head, nice and straight line of energy. Beautiful, bringing that left knee to center, circular motions with that ankle, feeling that right leg, the heat really creating in that leg, burning up. And then releasing that left foot down, rocking the hip side to side, letting it go. And then finding your center again. Bring your weight into your left foot, pressing through the pinky toe, big toe, and through the heel, grounding down. And then bringing that right knee up towards the chest. Nice circular motions here. Keeping our gaze on one thing while gripping with those toes. And then coming into your tree, whatever you did on the other side. Not trying to be perfect or striving for perfection. Just allowing yourself to be and honoring yourself wherever you are. Couple more breaths here. And then bringing the knee to center, doing some nice rotations with that right ankle. Moving in all the ways and releasing that foot down and rocking the hips out side to side as you let it go. Beautiful. Inhale, hands come up over the head and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift it up halfway. We're going to open up the feet about hip width apart, actually further to the edges of the mat, and sink those hips down. Maybe you come down to a block if you can't bring your hips down, or you find your resting space. I crack a little, it's okay. I'm going to bring my hands to heart center and maybe press my hands against my chest as you press your knees out with your elbows. Beautiful. Inhale, lift it up all the way. Hands come up, opening up nice and wide. Exhale, hands to heart center and the big toes to touch. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift it up halfway. Exhale, sending that left foot back. Left knee comes down, untucking those left toes. We're gonna walk that right foot over to the edge of the mat, coming into lizard lunge. So we can stay here, making sure that that right knee is over the ankle, feeling a nice stretch in our right inner thigh and our left. Or if you're feeling nice and flexy, you can come on down into your forearms, into the mat, just finding your edge. You can even let the foot rock out onto the pinky toe edge of the foot, opening up that right inner thigh. Slightly constricting the belly, making sure we're not holding on with anything in the back. Allowing yourself to surrender and be gentle. This might be hard for some of us, but just breathe into it and don't be resistant. Two more long, slow breaths here. Beautiful, and releasing the hands under the chest onto the mat as you lift up. We're gonna tiptoe that right foot over to the left side, dropping that right knee down next to the wrist. So if you have tight legs here, you would just bring that right foot closer to the body, or if you can open up, you just square off that shin to the front of the mat. Even it's hard for me to do that because I don't have all the flexibility in the legs, and that's okay. So I'm gonna look back at that left leg, making sure it's nice and straight behind me. I'm reaching through the toes. I'm gonna center my chest, inhale, reaching up through the crown of the head, and exhale, begin to walk it down. Again, we're just finding our edge, and everybody else is different, so just seeing where your body wants to take you. And if you're feeling tight, it's okay, just breathing there, and your body will eventually open. We've all experienced different things in life, and sometimes our body reacts in ways when we are resistant or restricted, or are we just not moving our bodies in certain ways that we should. So this is just telling your body telling you that you need to surrender, to relax and come back to this. Breathing nice and slow, noticing the quality of the thoughts. Have they wandered? Relaxing the neck and the head and the face. Two more long, slow breaths. Beautiful, and then begin to press into the palms of the hands to lift the chest. We're gonna press into those left toes, lift the hips and come into plank pose. We're gonna drop the knees, then the chest, and then the chin. Scooch forward and then lift it up for upward dog or crow. And then exhale, downward facing dog. You can keep that right leg straight as you bend the left. And then pedal out the feet, noticing a difference from one side to the other. And then come to neutral down dog. We're gonna inhale, lift that left heel up, nice and tall. Exhale, knee to nose, and left foot to the left thumb. Drop that right knee down. And we're gonna tiptoe that left foot out to the edge of the mat. We can even go on the pinky toe edge side of the foot. If you'd like to grab your block here, if you're feeling tight and you just want to stay and breathe into that space, honor that. If not, inhale and exhale, coming down to the forearms. Relaxing the neck and surrendering here. Inhale, lifting the chest by pressing into the hands, removing the block if it's there, and then tiptoeing that left foot over to the right side. So the left knee meets the left wrist, and wherever that right foot lands that's comfortable for you, where the hips are squared, is your spot. You're gonna gaze back towards that right foot, making sure you're reaching through the toes, and then look forward, square off the chest and the hips. Inhale and exhale, coming into pigeon pose. Coming onto the forearms or to the block, just finding your edge and relaxing into this nice tension spot that's in the body. But we're leaning into that resistance, and when we do, we're creating space in the body, releasing any negative ions, healing the body, releasing lactic acid, releasing the shoulders and the face and the neck, and just following the breath as it moves through your body. Noticing the mind and letting it relax. Letting go of the thoughts, just letting them come and go. Allowing yourself to be present. And that's always the goal, is to be present within ourselves and when we're around other people, so that we can speak our truth, not be on automatic. Sometimes we can be around people or just be in our routine and not notice how we're presenting ourselves. And sometimes when we leave situations, we might regret or want to turn back the things we said. So when we're able to tune into the breath and calm the mind, we're able to be more connected to what we're putting out there. Taking one breath in, exhaling out of the mouth. Pressing into the palms of the hands as you lift up through the chest, and bringing that right foot forward. Bringing the sole of the left foot inside of the right leg. We're going to inhale, hands come up with the palms to touch and the gaze to follow, and exhale, folding over that right leg. Inhale, reaching up nice and tall through the crown of the head as you're grabbing onto the shin, the ankle, or the foot. And exhale, forward fold. Maybe you're a little tight here and you want to bend that knee and bring it towards the chest. That's okay, you're just creating space. If not, you want to press down through the heel and the back of the leg and reach to the crown of the head and lower down, finding your edge and being gentle. 2 more long, slow breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale, lift it up nice and tall. We're going to switch legs. So sole of this right foot goes inside the left leg, squaring off our sit bones so we're nice and even and grounded, pressing through that left heel. Inhale, hands come up with the gaze to follow. And exhale, forward fold over that left leg, catching the ankle, shin, or the edge of the foot. Inhale, pull through the crown of the head as you engage the belly, and exhale, folding over that left thigh. Moving with the breath like a wave. Inhale slowly, pulling yourself out of it, and exhale, bending into a little deeper. One more breath here, filling up the body all the way. And exhaling out of the mouth. Inhale, lift it up. Lifting up the chest. Pressing both feet forward, pressing through the heels, and then lifting up off the sit bones by pressing into the palms for just a second. And lowering the hips down. Inhale, hands come up with the gaze to follow. And exhale, forward fold over both the legs. Inhale, lifting through the crown of the head, pressing the back of the thighs into the mat. And exhale, forward fold. Rolling the shoulders down the back, engaging the belly here. Just creating space in the back of the legs. Inhale, lift it up all the way. So we're gonna cross that right knee over the left, hugging that knee into the chest as you lift up nice and tall through the crown of the head. Taking a deep breath in here and exhaling out of the mouth. Bringing that right hand behind you. Inhale, lifting that left hand up and the gaze to follow, straightening out the spine. And exhale, letting the elbow meet the knee and twisting over towards the right. Inhale, reaching through the crown of the head, and exhale, twisting from the torso, looking back. Two more breaths here. And then looking forward, keeping the sole of the foot there. We're gonna get that left leg and curl it over the side, stacking the knees. The soles of the feet are facing back. The knees are stacked on top of one another, and you're sitting on your sit bones while reaching through the crown of the head. So you're feeling the energy pull in both the directions. Taking a deep breath in and bringing the hands behind the back. You can bring them into prayer or maybe catch opposite elbows, just finding wherever you're at. We're gonna inhale, reach nice and tall as we sit up straight with our hands behind our back. And then exhale, slightly inching forward as you ground down through the hips. Not lifting up off the hips, just finding your edge where you feel the stretch as you pull through the head and pull through the sit bones as you ground down. Feeling that right hip open up. Beautiful, and then we're gonna set the hands behind us, sliding them back, fingertips pointed forward, unraveling the legs, soles of the feet come down, letting the knees come out to either side. Giving our glutes a nice massage, releasing the stretches we created in the hips. Beautiful. And this time you're gonna stretch that right foot forward, or that left foot forward, crossing that right foot over the left and pulling the knee into the chest as you sit up nice and tall. One more breath here. I think I did the wrong leg. We gotta switch sides. Whatever side you did before. So bringing that left knee into the chest is where we're supposed to be. Bringing that left hand behind you. Inhale, pulling through the crown of the head as you bring the right hand up and bringing that elbow to meet the knee. Twisting over towards your left. Reaching up nice and tall. And exhale, twisting over to the left. Two more breaths here. And then facing forward, we're gonna stack the knees, so bending that right knee under you and stacking the left knee on top. The soles of the feet are facing back and you're pulling up nice and straight through the crown of the head. Bringing the hands behind you, whatever you did on the other side, do on this one. I like to catch opposite elbows. It's just a way of having nice even for me. I'm kind of tight there. Pulling up through the crown of the head, inhale. And exhale, slightly leaning forward, feeling a nice stretch here. Inhale, lifting up nice and tall, bringing the hands behind you and setting the soles of the feet down as you unravel the legs, windshield wipering the legs side to side. Beautiful. And then we're gonna tiptoe the feet nice and wide, soles of the feet down. Inhale, reaching through both the legs, nice and tall as if you're trying to reach for something. And exhale, going on to the back of the vertebrae one at a time. Going all the way back. And then bringing the knees into your chest and giving yourself a nice hug. I'm gonna grab the edges of the feet and pull the edges of the feet down for happy baby. Rocking side to side, giving our lower back a nice massage. Feeling so in tune with our body and in flow, feeling free. Beautiful. Bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. Feet are hip width apart. We're going to inhale, lift the hips, and interlace the hands underneath the hips. Maybe tucking in the shoulder blades if it's available to you, and pressing into the ball or the heels of the feet as you lift up through the hips. Watching the belly lift and lower as you breathe. Not letting the knees open up to the side, but being nice and strong in your stance. 3 more breaths here. And 1 more. And lowering the hips down to the mat. We're going to get that right foot and cross it over that left knee. Bringing that left knee into the chest and grabbing on behind the thigh. Pressing that right elbow into the right thigh, just rocking side to side, micro twisting with the lower back on the mat. Setting that left foot down, crossing the right over the left once or twice. You can keep your hands next to your hips as you drop your right knee over towards the left side. Bring your right elbow to bend on the floor next to you, bringing the gaze to follow. Feeling the right body open up. Breathing into the tightness on the right side and releasing it as you exhale. Beautiful, and unraveling the legs, bringing the hips or the feet hip width apart. And we're going to get that left foot, cross it over the right knee, and just micro twist to the sides as we bring in that right knee into the chest, grabbing behind the thigh, left elbow into the thigh as you press it out, and slightly sliding side to side, giving yourself a nice lower back massage. Releasing that right sole of the foot down onto the mat and crossing that left leg once or twice around the right. Bringing the arms out into goalpost arms next to you and dropping that left knee over to the right side. Bring your gaze to follow to the left hand. Nice, slow, long breaths here, opening up the left side body. Inhaling, bringing the knees to center, unraveling the feet, and then letting the knees rock out side to side as you release the lower back. Grabbing onto the knees and doing nice circular motions in the knees, hitting more area in the lower back, giving yourself a nice massage, having gratitude for our health, being able to move and breathe. Sometimes we take these things for granted and they're a huge deal. So just bring your attention and gratitude towards that, feeling love and full. And we're going to finish the class as we started. So bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. The soles of the feet meet one another. And if you want to grab and place a block underneath the thighs, you can do that. Bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your chest, onto your heart. Just following the breath as it moves through your body. I invite you to tune in to 5 things you're grateful for. main things we should feel grateful for right now is our health. Considering all the things that are going around in the world, doing everything we need to do to stay mentally and physically happy and healthy, especially through these hard times. So maybe that means starting your morning and taking time for you, or throughout the day, taking small times where you can disconnect and connect with yourself. Taking a deep breath in, filling up the body, feeling the belly lift into your hands. And exhale, releasing the soles of the feet out in front of you, stretching the legs nice and strong. And then coming into Shavasana, letting the pinky toes rest out to the sides. You can keep your hands on your belly and your heart, or you can bring them out to your side. Taking a deep breath in, filling up the belly, and exhale, out of the mouth, surrendering to the mat, and staying here. Not being resistant to the stillness. Noticing the mind, and if it wanders, just coming back to the breath. To surrender more and more into this pose, letting your body take in all the movements, letting it heal itself as you lay there and breathe. We sometimes resist new lessons. And what we resist the most is likely to be what we need to learn. Our lessons usually come with inner conflict. The action we should be taking, the idea we should be learning, is sometimes hidden behind a wall of resistance. There's a border, a barrier we need to cross to get into the heart of the lesson. Most times that barrier is within us. Lessons require us to let go of old feelings and old beliefs. If they didn't, they wouldn't be lessons. We already know them. Sometimes that very thing we feel guiltiest about doing, the place where we're most resistant to visiting, the person we're most convinced we shouldn't contact, or the behavior we're tormenting ourselves most about is exactly what we need to be doing. And more often than not, the lesson we're learning is not what we think it is. We need to embrace the surprise element of life. Embrace the mystery of life as it unfolds, as the lessons appear, as we grow and change and evolve. Do what you need to do to break through the resistance. Often that means simply seeing your resistance for what it is. Remember that point of greatest resistance is often the place of greatest learning. Breath in and creating movement in the fingertips into the toes as you exhale. Maybe you're rocking the head side to side, allowing your body to slowly awaken. When you're ready, inhale, reaching nice and tall through the fingertips as if you're just waking up in the morning, the same movement as when we started. Reaching nice and tall through the fingertips into the toes. Waking up to new opportunity and to new versions of ourselves. Exhale, holding the knees against the chest, giving yourself a hug. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Holding yourself with compassion and grace and understanding, and rolling onto whatever side you like that's comfortable for you. Coming into the true fetal pose. Before we built up that resistance against the world and the things that we're protecting ourselves from. When you're ready, coming up to a nice seated position, cross-legged, and bringing your hands to heart center to straighten out the spine. Press the thumbs against the heart to feel your inner self, your inner love, and that heart within you. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and holding it up the top. And exhaling out of the mouth. 2 more of those. Inhale. One more, make it count nice and slow and long. May you find this peace and stillness within you always, and find comfort within it. I hope you carry this grace with you, within you throughout the day. Thank you for sharing this space with me today, yogis. Namaste, and sending you lots of blessings throughout this hard times. And just knowing that everything will be okay, and this too shall pass. Namaste.